Right before Minnie and I left on our One Day to Wellness journey across North America, we had an opportunity to interview Ocean Robbins. Ocean Robbins is the CEO of the Food Revolution Network. This is an online network of over 600,000 people who really care about their health and evidence-based nutrition and the stewardship of the planet. Every year they have a summit where they interview 20 or so of the thought leaders in the world of GMOs, agriculture, evidence-based nutrition. These are the top-notch individuals that know what's going on. It starts on April 28th. It goes all the way through the first week of May. Please go to the foodrevolution.org website and sign up for the summit. Now let's take a listen to what Ocean has to say. He's got an incredible family history. We're going to hear about that first, and then he's going to talk about how to help us spread those seeds of change that are so important so that we can help other people that are close to us be more healthy.
Hello, my name is Mindy Milray, and this is Bruce Milray. We are with One Day to Wellness. We are in our home today. We are so fortunate to have with us Ocean Robbins from the Food Revolution Network. We met Ocean a few weeks ago at a Women's Forum conference in Santa Cruz, California, and we are so privileged today to be interviewing Ocean. He is the son of John Robbins, who has many, many best-selling books. And today, though, is all about Ocean. So Ocean, you are with the Food Revolution Network. We are so proud of what you are doing. Can you give us just a little background of the Food Revolution Network and also how it started?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first, a little family history. So my grandfather, Irvin Robbins, founded an ice cream company. It was called Baskin-Robbins. My dad, John, grew up with an ice cream cone-shaped swimming pool in his backyard and 31 flavors of ice cream in the freezer. And he was groomed from early childhood to one day join in running the family company. But when he was in his early 20s, he was offered that chance, and he said no. And he walked away from a path that was practically paved with gold and ice cream to, as we say in our family, follow his own rocky road. And he ended up moving with my mom to a little island off the coast of Canada, where they built a one-room log cabin, grew most of their own food, lived very simply, and named their kid Ocean. And then a few years later, my dad wound up writing a best-selling book called Diet for a New America and becoming a leading spokesperson for healthy food. The media had a lot of fun with the story. They called him the rebel without a cone. He inspired millions of people to look at their food choices as a chance to make a difference in the world. As fate would have it, one of his readers ended up being my grandpa, Irvin Robbins. Now, he had lost his brother-in-law and business partner, Bert Baskin, to heart disease. My dad's uncle Bert passed away at the age of 54. Mm-hmm. He was one of the most successful entrepreneurs in American history. He had incredible wealth and a family he loved, but he didn't have his health, and so he lost his life. And my dad said, I don't want to, have more people like my cousins losing their dads, more people losing their spouses. I want to help advocate for health. So now, fast forward, my grandpa was facing serious heart problems of his own, along with diabetes, major weight issues, and his doctors told him he didn't have long to live unless he read this book. Gave him a copy of my dad's book, Diet for a New America. My grandpa read it, followed its advice, changed his diet, changed his life. He gave up ice cream, he gave up sugar, he cut down his animal product consumption, he ate way more fruits and vegetables and whole foods, and he got the results that you expect from someone who makes those changes. He lost 30 pounds, he got off all of his high blood pressure and diabetes medications. His golf game even improved 7 strokes. He was a happy camper. He lived another 19 more healthy years. So we've seen in our family what can happen when we follow the standard American diet, which is that we get the standard American diseases. And we've also seen what can happen when we make a change, as my grandpa did, as many, many other people have done, inspired by my dad's work. So in 2012, I decided to join with my dad directly in launching Food Revolution Network, and we've reached more than 800,000 people with our online events and summits. And our commitment is healthy, ethical, and sustainable food for everybody. We have a mission, we have a story to tell of what can happen. It's not just our family story, it's your story. It's the story of every single human being who lives and breathes and eats and wants to be healthy.
And that's why we wanted so strongly to partner with you, because your message is one of collaboration, not competition, and joining forces. And that's what we're doing. We're going all across North America to help and to touch people that don't know any of this information.
Yeah. So 3 or 4 nights ago, when we came to hear you speak, Mindy and I were both so impressed with your eloquence and the way you address the specific topics that we've started to touch on right now. I had to give you a call and ask you to come in to do an interview. And you said yes, and I'm just really grateful for that.
And I was so inspired by what you guys are doing that I had to say yes. How can we help? Because you know what? This is it. This is the food revolution in action. You know what we find is that most of us, when we discover what's at stake here, even in our own personal lives, we want to tell other people.
Yes.
Because you know it's not enough. You know, our suffering shouldn't be in vain,
Yes.
right? And neither should our wisdom. I think that with knowledge comes a responsibility to apply that knowledge. You know, at the end of the day, cancer doesn't care what you think or what you know. It cares what you eat, and it cares how you live. And at the end of the day, I think that with the knowledge that we have imparted to us also an obligation, in a sense, to share it with those we care about and with other people. And you are living and embodying that to dedicate your life to helping share what you've discovered, what could have saved you a lot of suffering, and what is making such a difference in your life right now. And I'm just so moved, and I want to support you in any way we can. So thank you and bless you.
How you resonate the message, though, makes a huge difference, because you could say, I'm vegan, don't eat meat. Or you could say, you know, leaning to the green, whatever you can do, small steps. Yeah. So how do you do it? How do you resonate with people that perhaps don't want to hear your message?
You know, we've got enough fundamentalism in the world, in my view, enough ideology where it's like, this is me, this is my way, and everyone else is wrong. And we have battles and wars fought down through millennia of human history over which ideology and which particular dogma is correct. And I'm much more interested in what works. I'm interested in what helps people and helps the planet and helps build a better world. And for some people that means vegan. For some people that means cut out the French fries and go meatless on Mondays. We start where we are, and we move forward. And I'm not interested in setting up camp at a spot on the field and saying this is where everyone needs to live. I'm interested in moving in a direction. And there's controversy about the perfect diet for human beings because no two people are the same. Everyone's different depending on your health history, your metabolism, your stage of life, your weight, your exercise level, your ethics, your environment, so many other factors. What's optimal for you may be different than you, may be different than me. But we know that when we look at the scientific data, the direction is clear. We need to eat less processed junk, we need to eat less animal products, and we need to eat more real, whole plant foods. And so when we move in that direction, we can see that all the people living in the green zone, or the blue zones, the healthiest, longest lived populations on the planet, all pretty much have that in common. Yeah. They eat low or no animal products, they eat little to no processed foods, and they eat a lot of real, whole plant foods. So, that makes sense. That's what we can do. And whether you go strict vegan or you have fish once a week or, whatever, the direction is towards more whole plant foods and you get the benefits. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want for people.
It should be called green zones because we're green foods, right? So you have 2 children, and we have 3 children, and we did not raise our children to lean to the green, as we like to call it, because we didn't know. We adopted this, we really started researching into whole food plant-based living about 9 years ago. So when we lecture, we hear from moms a lot of, I make my own meal, I'm leaning to the green, but my husband won't, my kids don't. There's so much turmoil in the home because they just can't do it. They want to for themselves and they want to for their families, but there's so many outside sources. So what do you tell people?
If you've got family members that you'd like to influence in a positive way, there's a few key principles that I think can help. One is walk your talk. Live your example and watch people want to follow you when you're a magnet. when your energy is magnetic and exuberant. People will ask, wow, how did you lose all that weight? Why do you look, what? You're 50? I can't believe it. You're 70? I can't believe it. You look so great. Those are the great comments you want to hear. And then you can tell them your secret, right? Hey, it's not just luck or genetics. It's actually some choices I made along the way. You want to hear about it? So that's one piece. Number two is, do be willing to share. Because, if you don't share, they'll never know. But number three is look for openings and ask questions. Because people tend to respect someone who they feel respected by and they feel understood by. So don't shove ideology down people's throats, but look for openings and see what they care about. If someone is concerned about heart issues or cancer issues or Alzheimer's issues, those are openings where you can talk about specific studies, specific issues that relate to their lives, or maybe it's weight issues, whatever it is. But do it gingerly and respectfully. Don't be like, hey, I noticed you're kind of fat. Would you like to know how to lose weight? It doesn't go over well. Trust me. But if you're like, hey, can I share something? Maybe you sit down and you're like, can we all give thanks before dinner? Yeah. Then you're like, I'm so grateful that I've lost all this weight this year. Or I'm so grateful that I have so much energy even at my age. I didn't expect to. When I was younger, I never dreamed I would feel this good. And I'm so glad. Or I'm grateful to be alive right now. To be honest, I didn't expect or know that I would be right now.
Amen.
A few years ago, right? But here I am, and thank goodness I've learned some things that have helped me. Share those things. Sometimes if they don't ask, then you may not have an opening. Don't force it. It takes time, especially with loved ones. It takes time. Like if you're growing a garden, you can't plant seeds at the wrong time of year. You have to plant them in the springtime in many cases. If you plant them at the wrong time, they'll just die. So wait for the soil to be ready, wait for the time to be right, and then plant your seed. And of course, whether or not it sprouts, whether or not they tend their garden is their business. So we love them and we support them, but we don't control them. And that's even true of our kids. Yeah. We give them all the opportunities we can. Obviously, if you have little ones, you want to start them off with a normalcy that's healthy. Because, I know kids who their favorite food in the world is broccoli. Because that's what they're used to, right? They don't know that broccoli's gross. They love it, right? So we can create a normal that helps taste buds adjust. And the other thing that's wonderful is that taste buds change when you can re-normalize at any stage. Even if people have been eating the standard American diet for a long time, at first vegetables may taste a little bitter or a little bland, and they need to add more salt or seasonings at first. But over time, their taste buds will adjust, and they'll find themselves loving it.
We like to say, your taste buds will heal.
Yeah, that's right.
Ocean Robbins, an eloquent, thoughtful speaker. Stay tuned because I've got a couple more interviews in this series with him that we're going to broadcast this month. And remember, the Food Revolution Summit starts on April 28th. Go to the foodrevolution.org website and sign up for their summit right now. It's an incredible, incredible week.